Effective immediately, I am banning Mr. Sterling.
Following the release of horrific footage by Adam Silver that may permanently damage Brittney Griner's career, she is in full-blown terror. They just don't belong in the NBA. However, this goes beyond a single leaked clip. Oh no, the stakes are more than anyone could have predicted. The actors are larger, and the drama is more complex. And believe me, I have all the information you shouldn't hear.
They simply have no place in the NBA.
There was no accumulation, no public warming leaks, and no well-crafted statement to soften the edges. Adam Silver entered the stage as if he were entering a combat zone, made eye contact with the camera, and uttered the words that went viral on all American sports feeds. Brittney Griner has been permanently barred from the WNBA, effective immediately. No warm smile from PR, no handshake, just a career executed with precision. It wasn't discipline. It was exile. Griner, the face of women's basketball, a two-time Olympic gold medalist and a multiple-time All-Star, was obliterated as if she had never been. Nike halted her advertising within hours. Every highlight and every homage were scrubbed during her team's dark socials. Reporters departed, dialing into the emptiness. It was like a master switch was flipped, turning a hero into a ghost in a matter of minutes. The official explanation is that several infractions jeopardized the game's integrity. Silver only gave them that. No receipts, no details, just a surprise that made headlines. However, this is where things quickly became messy, because a second audio clip was already going viral online as soon as those words were spoken. A voice purportedly belonging to Griner's discussing pressure areas with referees in the middle of the game with an almost casual precision. Instead of a plan, the tone was one of authority and subtext, the kind of stuff that makes sponsors rush to fix the exit match. Before the entire home caught fire, Silver's well-chosen sentence began to sound less like a moral statement and more like a preventative firebreak. Because, let's face it, you don't fire the most lucrative player in your league unless the fire is already out of control.
Example of that is Brittney Griner. Brittney Griner made news. And Brittney Griner made news the other day because why?
Let's go back. Brittney Griner was more than simply another WNBA star. The star was her, the first woman to regularly dunk, a moving highlight reel. Children donned her jersey. Sponsors lined up with deals worth millions of dollars. And she became well known throughout the world due to her ordeal with Russian custody. She appeared invincible. That widely reported story of Russian detentions. Until she wasn't. She was untouchable. However, months ago, the luster began to fade. In the locker room, there is quiet friction, odd choices made in-game, heated encounters with referees that weren't contained within confined quarters. Rumors circulated among former co-workers about power maneuvers, mood swings, and a queen bee attitude that made everyone wary. Because she packed arenas, the league chose to ignore it. The numbers then became strange. Important games with unexpected swings and statistics that didn't make up. Reddit was the first, followed by TV analysts and sports podcasts. Additionally, Caitlin Clark made the scathing remark, "Some of these calls don't feel right." The discussion exploded. The investigation began at that point. They discovered more than simply attitude. It was organized. Voice notes, messages, and emails that purportedly connected Griner to a network of influence. Officials from the league, referees, and even scheduling experts. Managing the game, not just playing it. For a league that is still battling for legitimacy. It was the sort of scandal that people will never forgive.
Griner was in a Russian prison.
The whistleblowers are the next stage. A few players were summoned for what insiders referred to as closed-door interviews when the league's investigation heated up. Two names quickly sprung to mind: Caitlin Clark and Cunningham, Sophie. They're both rising stars. According to insiders, both had impeccable reputations and were aware that their careers may be at stake the moment they talked. During those meetings, there was more confession than interview. According to reports, Clark described games when the referee's actions seemed strange, rulebook infractions that went unpunished, and calls that gained traction. Cunningham supported every aspect of her story. They even gave specific names to authorities and moments. The twist then appeared. Investigators from the league had tapes. Clips purportedly containing Griffin's voice appeared. In one, she discusses certain referees and their shortcomings. She talks about how far she can push before anyone notices in another. According to others, Clark froze upon hearing it. Cunningham's response was a blunt one. That's precisely what I was discussing. At that point, the counterattack started. A few days later, Gurrier's legal team intimated that they had their own material ready to be released and denounced the investigation as a concerted smear campaign. Thus, the true question remains unanswered. Was Gurrier in charge, or was she being set up by someone else? Commissioner Kathy Engelbert was meant to maintain control over everything while Brittney Griner was allegedly manipulating strings behind the scenes. However, it seems that she chose to observe rather than intervene. Imagine a fire marshal cooking marshmallows as the structure burns. According to insiders, Engelbert had warning indications for months or perhaps years, and despite internal reports, emails from whistleblowers, and subdued prodding from team executives, nothing changed. Ongoing observation was the official term for it. Informal, more along the lines of "don't mess with the cash cow." Gurrier was also the moneymaker. Sales of tickets, ESPN ratings, merchandise drops, and global publicity. She was more than just a participant. She served as the walking billboard for the WNBA. If she had been exposed, the entire brand might have been destroyed. However, ignoring the situation just made the mess worse. Yes, the NBA commissioner took over by the time Adam Silver did. It was really horrible. Engelbert's authority to enforce rules was subtly taken away. She is currently being reviewed. The fans are incensed. Additionally, it appears like the league's leadership has been operating automatically while the issue has grown. The crisis was not only made possible, but also intensified by the WNBA's leadership change. And it wasn't pretty when the lights came on. There are rats everywhere.
We call her Cece. Cece. Even when I wasn't on her team, I know the talks that Phoenix had in the locker room of no, we're gonna prove her, we're gonna show her what the W really is. You know what I mean? And I get it to a certain extent. And every rookie coming into the league, that's how you're gonna treat them. But there's just more.
Boom! Just when it appeared like the Gurrier drama was at its peak. The rumor that has been circulating in whispers for years has finally spread widely. Is Brittney Griner a man by birth? Furthermore, this is not merely a sideshow driven by trolls. According to sources close to the probe, the league allegedly ignored and sealed important medical records that were on file to keep their golden geese safe. Memoranda that have been leaked are now circulating. Words like mitigation of competitive imbalance, athlete eligibility exceptions, and narrative preservation leap off the page. Translation: they may have been aware but chose to remain silent. The consequences could be severe if even a small portion of this is accurate. Title IX infractions, sponsors withdrawing, and supporters doubting each victory. Gurrier's supremacy is suddenly more than simply skill. The question is whether the league's empire was founded on a secret it believed would never be revealed. This goes beyond a simple scandal. Identity theft is a ticking time bomb.
See something real quick. Brick! Thank you! Get the hell out of here, yo! Jab stepping, it's a brick. Swing and a miss!
Oh!
Yo, I ain't gonna fake it right now.
But apparently, Brittney Griner is, in fact, a man.
Don't believe that Brittney Griner was going to quietly disappear into scandal exile. Her camp exploded within hours of Adam Silver's declaration of a lifelong ban. In a scathing statement, her legal team called the entire situation a hoax, blatantly biased, and motivated more by fear than by truth. The kicker is this, though. They're not simply being tough-talking. They are preparing for a full-scale legal battle. We are discussing subpoenas for all internal league emails, investigative files, and texts between referees and executives. Indeed, those enigmatic audio recordings that Silver alluded to but never made public. They want them publicly, unfiltered, and on the record. Gurrier's attorneys are portraying this as a smear against a lady who is too strong, too vocal, and too difficult to manage. She is shown as the martyr rather than the antagonist. A diversion to deflect attention from the league's more sinister secrets. This is where things become risky for the WNBA. The consequences might go well beyond game fixing if she flips and begins revealing agreements, disclosing receipts, and revealing names. We are discussing referees, sponsors, executives, and even Kathy Engelbert. I was informed by an insider that Griner will take the entire building with her if she decides to go down. She is, therefore, prohibited. However, don't mistake that for defeat. Her next decision could determine whether the WNBA is destroyed in real time or if this scandal fades into history. Additionally, forget about popcorn if this goes to trial. A fire extinguisher is required. The end. And we are at that point. The legacy of Brittney Griner is precariously precarious. The league is frantically trying to prevent its fortifications from collapsing. Adam Silver is holding cards that nobody has yet to see. This goes beyond a simple scandal. A full-fledged soap drama is unfolding in real time. The entire WNBA may turn into a crime scene with one poor move. This story is far from over, so stay tuned. Watch things unfold in real time by staying engaged and subscribed.